is president of Martin Resorts, who owns this fabulous hotel and who's responsible for rebuilding Drury Woodson's ballroom here. Rebuilding it and with materials that were salvaged from the fire. Was supposed to speak this evening. He's been called out of town, but he sent his general manager, who handled the actual rebuilding himself, to speak to us, and flew him into town. We got a lot of people flying into town on short notice here tonight. And so I would like to introduce to you him so he could tell you a little about this place that we've been enjoying here for the last couple of days. So please welcome Paul Wallace.
I'm Paul Wallace. I'm the COO of Martin Resorts, and glad that I was able to fly in a little early today and give you a little bit of the history and tell you what we've done here. Those of you that know or don't know, there's been hotels. This is the third hotel that's been on this property. The first one was opened in about 1964. The most famous was opened in 1891, and I think I said 1964 the first time, didn't I? How about 1864? The most famous was the Hotel Paso Robles. This room you're in is what is left of that hotel. There was a fire in 1940 that brought it down. It's actually been kind of plagued with fires. I'll give you a little history about this room. The original room in the hotel was built with over 1 million bricks, cost $160,000. This room you were in at the time this building was 1 story. Was heated by fireplaces. In 1911, roughly, there was a kitchen fire that took down the roof, but it gave them this room as it is. When we purchased the hotel in 1999, this room was here, but it was condemned. Hadn't been used since, I've heard rumors, early 60s, but it was condemned after the fire in the 1940s. He walked in, took a look at the room, and said he was going to rebuild it, and did. He brought me in on the project, and I said, I can't justify this project. I'll never be able to sell this room enough to have you recoup what you've done. But we started a project with the whole inn. 99 purchased the inn. In about the middle of 99, we started to really get into this project. The first thing that had to happen is the wood in this room was all taken down, it was numbered, it was mapped out, and stored. The floor was refinished, and we started the rebuild. The rebuild here, if we had torn the building down, we could have done it for about half the price. But we did save it. There's over 900 custom steel connectors to hold this to that, to the old thing, to this thing that I didn't quite follow, but I knew we had to do it. Every opening you see is fully encased in steel. And we actually, the bricks, it's a masonry building. We had to repoint it. We had to take 1 inch of grout out every brick line in this entire building, both inside and out, and regrout it. The one lucky thing was, since the second floor was added later, it was actually stick frame. So all we had to do there was tie all the wood together with all the steel. But we had to anchor it to the building for earthquake retrofit. The interesting thing is, as long as the building stays, we're okay. The bricks down here can fall, but if the building stays at 2 stories, we're okay. To do that, we have steel caissons. There's 14 of them around this property that go roughly 30 feet in the ground, go up, and you'll see them on the outside of this building when you look. They come out and they grab the top floor and hold it in place. It was a project that, though we used the room prior to completion, Norma, don't tell anybody in the city that. I see that you're over there. It took us about 16, 17 months to complete. In this room, the wood you see, the woodwork, the trim, probably 70% of it is original. The floor is completely original. We're back to 1911. The lights were taken down, sent out to a lightsmith, totally retrofitted, and any missing parts were redone. And there's an interesting thing we like to talk about in this room is you're looking at a very large span, and you don't see, there's no pillars, there's nothing in the middle of it holding it up. It's actually a suspension ceiling, or suspension floor if you're upstairs. We did open it in January of 2000, our first function down here. It took us till April and May to get full occupancy permits to do everything upstairs. A couple interesting things, we went to the state with mounds of paper trying to get historical status. They actually, this is the quote, I almost tear up. It's an insignificant remnant of history. Because of the overall, the inn, which was a giant T, this was a very limited portion of it. We cried about that for a little while and then went to the National Trust, and the National Trust did recognize us as the Historic Hotel of America. So we got a little bit of that back. An interesting thing, as I said, it was built for about $160,000, million bricks. It was built as the unburnable hotel. From the outside in. We've done in all of our research, we found lots of pictures. We actually found pictures one day of a room in this building that had a picture of the Titanic in it, which was probably a survivor stayed here. And as anybody that's staying upstairs knows right now, we put a picture of the Titanic in every one of the rooms here. We thought bringing the unsinkable ship, the unburnable hotel back together would be a good thing. And, I want to let you, I know you have a program, and I appreciate you letting me come in. I didn't want to take up much of your time, but give you some quick history on it. There's a great, out in the lobby, we actually have a chain of title that one of the title companies here did for us that goes back to the original, and I think you'll see some very familiar names on that. Leading to us, actually, December of 98 was Martin Resorts got the title, but really took over in 99. And I'll leave you with that.
Paul, I'm sleeping next to one of those prints of the Titanic, and it's not doing very much to give me a good night's sleep. The James family would like to recognize Martin Resorts, Tom Martin, president, and we'd like to present them with this plaque today in appreciation of the Springs Hotel Ballroom restoration and preservation. Originally created in 1891 by Drury, Woodson, James, the founder of Paso Robles, California, and Uncle and Frank and Jesse Gaines. Signed the James Gang and family, James Founder Days, September 12 to 14, 2002.